This ABC15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.
Hello, I'm Megan Thoms with your top stories right now from ABC15 Arizona.
We want to protect our children. We want to work together to find out how we solve this together as a community, and not just Queen Creek, but throughout our region.
The mayor of Queen Creek speaking with ABC15 for the first time on camera after Wednesday's town council meeting. It's the first one they've had since the case of Preston Lord's death was submitted to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. The 16-year-old was beaten at a Halloween party and later died. More than 2 months later, still no arrests. And later today, the Gilbert subcommittee on teen violence will have their first meeting. Town council members unanimously voted to create the group earlier this month. A pair of Arizona sheriffs now urging lawmakers in our state to take a tougher stance on border security. Cochise County Sheriff Mark Daniels and Yuma County Sheriff Leon Wilmot speaking in a joint special session, saying local lawmakers need to keep pressure on the federal government. Lawmakers tell ABC15 the bill will soon be introduced in the state Senate, increasing penalties for people who run from police, a common issue that Daniels says he has with smugglers. We're getting an inside look at how voting machines work in one Arizona county. After a chaotic 2022 midterm election in Cochise County, some voters have expressed doubt in electronic voting machines. The company who makes the technology says the machines are tested frequently to ensure they are secure.
I thought for a minute that ES&S was doing something wrong in terms of security. I called the Attorney General myself. I had too much to risk by coming up here and not telling you the truth.
The company adding the technology doesn't store any information, but rather uses coding to count these selections. There are renewed talks in Congress that could bring back the expanded child tax credit that resulted in monthly checks for families back in 2021. Our Joe St. George takes a look at the deal and whether it stands a chance of passing anytime soon.
Well, it's that time of year when you may have the laptop out and you're reviewing your family's tax information before you submit it to the IRS. Well, Congress is looking at taxes, too, with a potential deal emerging that could really impact your family's pocketbook.
This tax change proposal has been brokered by Oregon Democratic Senator Ron Wyden and Republican Congressman Jason Smith of Missouri. Both men play key roles when it comes to tax policy in Congress, and both want this deal to pass soon. Under current law, the maximum child tax credit is $2,000 per child, but only $1,600 of that is refundable when you file your taxes. The proposal would change that to $1,800 right away, with $100 increases until 2025. Eventually, the tax credit would be tied to inflation, like Social Security checks. Lawmakers behind the deal are eager to pass this, so families could get the benefits when the 2023 tax filing season begins toward the end of the month. In this Congress, though, passing anything right now this consequential is a tall task, and some congressional leaders have already signaled the deal needs some changes to get their support. There remains more pressing concerns, too, like avoiding partial government shutdowns. The $78 billion tax legislation also includes incentives for companies to build low-income housing, benefits for some semiconductor companies from Taiwan, business deductions for research and development costs, and tax relief for victims of recent disasters, like the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, last year. Joe St. George, Scripps News, Washington.
Time for that most accurate forecast. I'm meteorologist Iris Hermosillo. It's going to be a gorgeous day across Arizona. Warmer, too, as high pressure begins to build in overhead and we see more sunshine today. Those temperatures are climbing even faster and higher. Today, we're going to reach the 70s across central and western and southwestern Arizona, with Phoenix topping out at 75 degrees, marking the warmest day of the year so far. Highs reaching the 50s to 60s across northern Arizona, with spots like Flagstaff seeing more sunshine and a high of 52. In the 60s today for Sedona. We'll be dry through the end of the week, getting a little warmer tomorrow, too. But then by the weekend, Sunday specifically, and into next week, rain chances go up. We could end up with around half an inch of rain in the valley by the time all is said and done, as we see multiple opportunities for rain and more of a rain-snow mix across the high country, with snow levels hovering at around 7,000 feet. But a little over 1 inch possible in spots like Flagstaff when it comes to snowfall, maybe 1 to 3 inches up there. Otherwise, it'll get cooler after highs in the 70s. We're back in the low to mid 60s starting Sunday.
For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, head on over to ABC15.com or download that free ABC15 mobile app.
This ABC15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.